Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Sorry I'm dressed like this. I just finally moved. I've been traveling all week, so I finally got back home. For this assignment, I chose to talk about a company everyone should be familiar about called Theranos. Now, Theranos was a company that was formed by a remarkable woman, Elizabeth Holmes, who dropped out of college, Stanford, at the age of 19 with the dream of starting her own company. She proceeded starting the company Theranos, and she was backed by a billionaire, Sani Bovani, an Indian tech billionaire who was a protector in everything she did. So what is Theranos and what did Theranos do? Theranos was a blood testing company. Companies like LabCo or like Quest Lab had been known to doing this tests for a long time, and they had been successful at it. But this was a new company started by a young, remarkable woman that claimed that she had invented a machine that would do more than 100 tests with just one prick of a finger. But then this was something next to impossible because no company would do it. It was so big that the company was compared to the iPod. She even went on record by saying herself that, hey, this could be compared to the iPod. This alone gave her fame and gave her status. And not only that, but the company raised $9 million in its first 2 years of inception. It's not only the money and the fame, but also the people attached to the board of the company. Some of the biggest names are Henry Kissinger. You might be familiar with him, or former defense Secretary James Mattis, and also a gentleman by the name George Shultz. George Shultz was a former POW and who actually had a big hand in the Cold War. Schultz played a major role in this because when he joined the board, he managed to convince his son, Terry Schultz, who had just graduated Stanford too with his degree in biochemistry. He advised him to join the company because Elizabeth was a family friend. And sure enough, Schultz joined the company, and he worshipped and idolized Holmes because, wow, I mean, this is a family friend. She's just as successful, and this is where I want to be. She proceeded to join the company at this height because the company had just signed a mega deal with Walgreens to put an Edison machine in every single Walgreens. And this deal was not over $140 million. We would just, change the world. The premise around the machine in Walgreens is that this machine could now detect the diseases to even cancer. And Elizabeth claimed that she had done some research with some people at Johns Hopkins and found out that this machine could detect cancer, some sorts of cancer, up to 7 years before they came up. Reports later came in that those claims were false, of course, and she had never met anybody at Johns Hopkins. She had never done any prior FDC testing, and her board of directors never actually paid attention to what was happening. And that all the tests that were done were just for show and tell. Because the tests were done, the blood samples were collected and be put in the machines, but it was actually lab technicians doing the tests. Years later, a young lab tech by the name of Erica Chang, she was brand new and she was put in the lab, and she soon found out that the tests that the machine was supposed to be doing are the tests that she was performing. And every single time the machine performed a test, the results were false. But whenever she performed, the results would not match, with the result. The results of the machine did not match the results she performed. She ended up, quitting the company. And before that, she informed Schultz what was going on. And Schultz proceeded to talk to Holmes, who and the CEO, ended up banishing him from the company, and he ended up quitting and leaving the company that he, had praised enough. All in all, a great company like this, with a great vision, with a great machine that was supposed to solve everything in the world, ended up to be fraud. And this was categorized by far as the biggest fraud in this century, because a young billionaire came out of nowhere with just lies and false information. Thank you for listening. Have a good afternoon.